Now just take all the defaults. And go over to your design. And your standard delete your hello world. Now under your text, there's a plain text one. So put a plain text on your screen.
That's why it's on here is unavailable until successful. Oh, I need to close project.
Yeah, you might have to wait.
Let's just do play in around, delete later.
Still building the Gradle?
I just started doing it. It's already good.
Okay. So drop on a number also.
So put on a plain text and number.
Right. And we'll drop a text view on the front of each one.
We do just
Then we'll drop on a button. Then we'll drop on a couple of text views for the answers, and then a couple of text views just to have as a label. And then we'll do our infer constraints. Now this text view up here in the upper left, I'm going to give it the text of name. This one I'll give it a text of number. Now this name here we don't want. So for this text box we dropped on here, I'm going to go down to the text and make it blank. I do want to give it an ID though. This is going to be ed underscore name. Let's see, yes. If it comes up and asks that. Then the number I'm going to call ed underscore number. The button, I want the text there to say calculate. The text view here, I want it to have a text saying square root. This one I want it to say part of a string, although we'll do other things with it. Now I move those over slightly. I'm going to get rid of my constraints, and then I'll do my little magic wand just to make sure it reconnects to what it thinks is the best layout. Now this right here, you could have it say text view if you want, but I'm going to blank it out.
Is it gonna be a number?
This will be a number, yes.
I'm gonna put 0.
Okay. And up here for the ID, I'm gonna call TV underscore number. So yes. This text view here, I'll blank out also. And I'll call it TV underscore name.
Before you go into coding, can you help me fix mine?
Mm-hmm.
Someone did something to it and it's broke. Oh, that someone?
Grade projects. You haven't started designing it, right?
No.
Let's see.
You got a lot of stuff tangled up there. She's like, dude. Yeah, before you.
So you took.
No, I changed it. Okay. It's not me. Hey, listen. I don't know what I want. My
That's it. So let me get you to the computer.
already has to restart. No.
Shut up. There you go.
You're really freaking out.
Now, I changed the text that was inside those text views, and then it kind of squashed it together. To choose a text view after you've done that, if you come over here in the component tree, this is where you can choose individual ones. Because it's kind of hard to select it if it's so small. So that's an easy way to do that. Excuse me. You don't have to change all the text on that. Just drop them on there and change the name of the ID. You can pretty it up later. After couple more class periods. We'll have the knowledge we need programming wise. Though we can definitely refine that to start looking at some of these other items.
Google.
Yeah.
And you and Matthew.
I should mention we don't have any class on Monday. It's a professional development day. I'll be down in meetings and down in Arc City. So.
Yes, I can get sleep. I can sleep.
How do they do that when you're in high school? Do you get to just stay home?
Yeah.
Or do you have to go sit in the library?
Yeah. I got clearance through Mr. Roman and Mr. Wilson that if we don't, which is our guidance council people, I probably should read that. That if we don't have class, we can just head into school whenever, but we have to be responsible enough to make it there before our classes start.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't, then we'll have to just start going with them, and we'll just have to chill out with Belinda, who drives us here.
Oh.
But if we're responsible enough to make it to school on time, then we get the privilege.
We'll also have a day off in October. I don't know when it is exactly.
It's the 31st. Oh, it is.
No, I think it's like the 25th, but I'll know closer to that time. That's fall break. So.
I think we have to take a fall break.
We have a fall break in college.
Yeah. How long is the fall break? Is it just that one day?
It's just 2 days. It's Thursday and Friday. So. It coincides with the Arkalala in Arc City. So it's not the normal time of fall break of the colleges, but that's when we celebrate.
It's kind of convenient for us because we don't go to school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
are you? Is everything? This first one should be called TV ed underscore name.
Why does your number box say name?
It does by default. Then this one's called ed underscore number.
But he has two of the name boxes.
He didn't add a number on the other one then.
Okay, that's mine didn't say name. Jeez.
This one's called. Oops. That one right there is called TV underscore number. And this one, right underneath it, right next to this part of a string, is called TV underscore name.
On Monday. It'll be nice since it's a Monday that we get off. Yeah. We'll have to take off one day for that.
Now go to your Java code.
Yeah.
And we'll type public void button click. View V. And then alt enter. Now we're going to want to bring in those two items. And remember what we're bringing in, even though they came from different places, these are both edit texts. So I'm going to have an edit text, T1 equals to edit text, find view by ID, r.id.ed, number, name. First one I had was name. Second edit text I had on there was ed number. And I'll do an alt enter to have it accept and bring in that library. Import it in. Now I also have a couple of text views. So I'm going to have a text view, T3 I'll call it, equals text view, find view by ID, r.id dot TV name. I think that's the first one on the screen. Not that matters. And then also have a text view T4 equals text view find view by ID r.id dot TV number. Alt enter to bring in the library for text view. Then I'm going to declare a string called the name. Name is too close to reserved words for me to use, so I just threw a the in front of it. And double D1. Now we want to bring those in, so I'll say the name equals to, and we're going to have T1 dot get text dot toString. Now the name is a string, so I don't need to do any kind of conversion at all. It just comes in after it does the toString. And D1 is going to be T2 dot, wait a minute, I'm lying to you. It should be double dot parse double T2 dot get text dot toString. Now, the first thing we're demonstrating today is just the math library. So, down here, if I do D1 equals to, and if you type math uppercase, I think it's lower. If you type math lowercase, it doesn't work right. But you have to have an uppercase M, and then do dot. These are all the different items you can do. Some of these you may recognize: ABS, absolute value, yeah, min, max, power. That's raised to a power. So forth. One we want is square root. So if you start typing SQR, you'll see it. And then you can put D1 in there. So then we want to write it back out to the screen. So I'm going to say T4 dot set text and then double dot toString of D1. Now I come over to my button. Remember, you need to on-click, do the drop down, choose that button, click.
Yeah. Oh. I see what I did.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and run it. Click OK.
I can't wait to get hit by a timer. Oh, that's... Without context, it just sounds weird. We didn't have any context. Rosie almost better get hit by a timer. There's a legal well.
Okay, so this comes up.
Right.
And when you click in this blank right here, Instead of popping up with a number, it types up with our full keyboard. So that's what the difference is. When you say something's a number versus just a text, it does that. Huh?
I have an application installation fail.
Ouch.
Okay, let me show this and I'll take a look.
Alright.
So if I type in a name, all the way I'm not doing anything with names yet. And if I do 33 and click calculate, you'll see this. It looks like my spacing's a little bit skew. But anyway, that calculates the square root of 33.
JC's old Google.
I have to call. Installation failed, but no switch device offline. It's possible that this is installed existing. Install the existing application. And
That's what we should do for our fight, too. Any fight we're gonna do for the who's gonna keep a straight face? Because I'm really good at keeping a straight face. I can in certain cases. Yeah, but if you're sitting there like just laughing. No, that's not what I mean. But like the news stories.
oh yeah.
PhDos. If you said it seriously.
I'm sure I could.
Under the stress.
I've pretty long stressful situations. Like that.
Jake, Zarius gets like a Sigma error, but an Android Studio is like, why?
Yes, Sigma.
Yeah, I did get one time I accidentally deleted my application on the emulator, so I couldn't open it again. Did you do that? Because I was like, man, I got a lot of apps on this phone. I'm trying to delete them. And I accidentally deleted one I was working on. I didn't realize it. I was like, nah. What did you do?
I've seen the video with the guy son's little brother how to delete system files that he did.
Myth. What did you do?
He's like trying to play Steam.
Yeah.
On XP computer. Well, you can't like so launcher using your spot.
You can on XP, yeah. It just, whatever, it depends on what game you're in. And some games require a better operating system. You could have the system requirement.
What I did on his computer is getting some kind of weird error. There's a build clean project. So if you do have some kind of weird issue, these are the two things to try. First, clean it, and then rebuild project. So if there's any kind of weird connections that haven't been cleared, this in theory will help resolve those. Okay, so like I said, that's a little bit off. TV number, I'm gonna put 0 there so I can easily move it. That's a good idea. I had to put a 0. Let me put it right there. Get rid of those. Put them back. Let me try to run it again. Infer constraints tries to do the best job it can, but may not be perfect. So come over here. Some kind of value. And wrap, but that's okay. I'm not gonna spend any more time on that, but because we haven't looked at rounding yet. But you can make that wider if you wanted to. There it goes. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna delete that and start over on that TV number. There we go. I started playing with the constraints. Put 0 there. There, I grabbed the right thing that time. Okay, now string. Over here, we declared string up here, and we want to retrieve it. So I'm going to type the name equals t3 dot get text dot toString. Did I say T3?
Yeah.
Let's try it again. T2. T1?
T-minus.
Which one is it? Let's see. My name is in T1. Okay. Oh, we already have it up there, don't we?
Yeah.
Good thing Weekend's about here. Okay, so we're immediately going to write it out. So we'll dump it out to T3 dot set text. And we got the name. I don't need to convert it to a string because it's already a string. And then we'll run that. I didn't do it for constraints again. Okay, so put that in, click calculate. It's all up here in my right hand corner for me. So I'm going to get rid of the constraints and then do an infer constraints.
Alright, I got Zeus. I want to be able to put it in as my name, only be cloud, and then hit for part string that says
Okay, now let me try it again.
yeah, we need to get these. What? What are you talking about?
Okay. So everybody's working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yours?
Hmm? Oh, I'm just changing my view. I didn't do my conference stroke. Oh, I didn't do it again. Look at that. Try it one more time. Okay, stop that. Started. I think constraints is probably one of the most irritating parts of this whole platform. I understand the need for them, but it's just hard to work with sometimes. Okay, that looks better. And so then I'll run it. Okay, that looks good. Now we're going to do something with the string. So if I come over here, if I enter in a string, let's say I enter in, get this up there.
Wait, did we delete something? Because I looked up and stuff and believe.
Now, if I enter in David Hayes, you might think that this is the first position, the D. Second position, third position, fourth position, fifth, so on. But let's try something and see if that is true. We'll say D1 is equal to, and D1 dot. Now you have some same capability here. You can change it to string, integer value, float value, so forth. If you type string dot, you got other options. So if what you're finding isn't underneath just the normal dot and it pops up with the different methods, come here and look, and you'll see some other options. You see there's a format feature. Let's see, string dots.
We're gonna have to get some plan words. I got some. I was looking.
I've completely forgot how to do the string.
There it is.
Oh, I'm doing D1.
You can do this one.
The name dot. There it is. If I choose the right variable name, you see there's substring, two uppercase, so forth. Now trim, that's a useful one. So if I'd say the name dot equals the name dot trim, and some have different types of trims. I'm not sure if this one does. No, it doesn't. Trim. What that does is gets rid of spaces at the end or at the beginning. So if you put extra spaces, like when you type in David Hayes, if you put space there, the trim gets rid of those. Is that good? The name is equal to the name dot substring. And you're going to do your beginning index and your ending index.
Name equals.
What would you say your begin? If I want to pull out DAV, what do you think my beginning index would be?
DAV.
Or based upon a numbering? This numbering I put here. 1 to 3. So beginning index 1, and I put 3 in, and it puts the ending index there for me. So that would appear to pull from 1 to 3. We're going to see an issue with that when we run it, though. So if I run that, now I'm going to type in my name and then that. I click calculate, and what does it pull? Pulls AV, doesn't it?
Compilation error. Illegal start of expression. Illegal.
Now I'm going to go ahead and stop that. Now it doesn't start at 1. It starts at 0. So this is 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what should my beginning index be?
9. I mean 1.
No, that's what it was. 0. Now, you might think it stops at 2, although we saw an issue the first time we did that. It just gave us AV, 2 characters, didn't it? So if I put 0 to 2, let's see what we get.
Why is it editing? Any line I click on, it's like editing the. I don't know if it's like I can't click in between them. It's like doing this. So like anytime I click, it highlights it.
I'll take a look at it here in a little bit.
Yeah.
All that reminds me of is
Now, if I click calculate, you see how it gives us DA. So you actually want to go to 3.
It changes.
Now 3 would make you think that it's goes to I, but it goes to 1 less. So you just have to get used to the numbering on that.
The end index is gonna be 9.
3.
Oh, slash 3.
Is that good on that? Any questions?
No.
Now there's a lot of different things you can do on strings. You can concatenate. Concatenate means put strings together. There's a replace feature, replace all. So you can go through and replace all the occurrences of what you're looking for with something else. 2 lowercase, 2 uppercase. Some of these I've never used. Compare. There's compare features. Those are probably all the main ones I've used. Good so far? Did your editor clear up?
No, it's still doing this weird thing that anything I click, it highlights it instead of making a little line that you can edit.
Uh-huh.
It just highlights whatever I'm hovering. I don't understand it.
I'll take a look at it here in a second. Now, what I want you to do, 2 projects, you have the rest of the day to work on that, is create a little mini calculator. Such that you have a text box and you put a 33 in there. And then you have functions, absolute value, square root. So each one's a separate button. You don't have to do all of the commands.
Like 3 commands.
Oh, no. A lot more than that. Let me type up ones that you should program in. Actually, I guess I can do it just over here. You should be able to do the ABS. That's absolute value. There's some of these are kind of strange sometimes, but definitely you should do the cosine, sine, and tangent. Square root, of course. Log 10. Square root. And some of these don't make any sense unless you have like 2 numbers. So that's why. That's probably good enough. So you're going to have a text field, and you're going to have 7 buttons. when you push one of those buttons, it should put the result in a text view with the result. The other part of the project, separate project, is I want you to have two items, well, three on your screen. You'll have a edit text where they'll put in a date. Actually, you'll have more than that. Like if they put in 10/13/2018. So that'll be a edit text where they'll put that in. You'll have a button, and then you'll have a text view, 3 text views actually. Where you're going to print out the month, like January, February, so forth. You'll print out the day. This will be like 13, 27, so forth. And you print out the year, 2018, 2017, so forth. Now you'll do some of this via using the function we just looked at, substring. You can assume that they'll always put it in 2 digits here. So like if they're going to put in 01, they'll put it that way. They won't put 1. Now, how do you think you get the actual month name?
Probably a string for it.
There might be, but we're just going to use the if statement. So if month is equal to 1, January. If month is equal to 2, February, and so forth.
We're going to have individual,
right.
Individual if statements.
Mm-hmm. There's more efficient ways than that, but with what we've covered so far with our knowledge, and that's the best way to do it. Now let me go ahead and stop the recording. I'll come look at your computer.